Sonic R, my beloved Sonic R. A little while back, I sought to complete this game with the one and only Amy Rose, who is considered to be one of the worst characters in the game due to her being far slower than everyone else. In that video, I mentioned another character that fits the same category, and that's this fella. Egg Robo is slow, unable to jump or hover over water without slowing down and sinking, and has a useless weapon that almost never hits its target at the cost of precious rings. All that sounds like a perfect setup for a challenge run, doesn't it? Well, there's only one problem. Egg Robo is an unlockable character, so technically the game can't fully be beaten with them. So there you have it. However, you can unlock Egg Robo at the start and try to beat most of the game, so why don't we make things a little more interesting? When playing as unlockable characters in Sonic R, you're put up against the other ones as well, as long as they're also unlocked. All of these characters are much faster than Sonic and friends, so it'd make collecting the Chaos Emeralds a bit more difficult since you have to be in first place to get them. So before I collect any Chaos Emeralds, I'll unlock all of the other characters first, or at least everyone but Eggman since he can't be unlocked until the end anyway. I'll also have the difficulty set to hard mode like I did in my Amy run. To top it all off, after getting all of the Chaos Emeralds, you'll be put up against these characters, along with Super Sonic at the very end of the game in Radiant Emerald. Seems like a fair trade-off to make up for not being able to truly 100% the game, right? So, let's see if you can beat most of Sonic R using only Egg Robo. To start things off, I went into Regal Ruin with my main man Tails, collected all of the Sonic tokens, and finished the race to challenge Egg Robo. This is a pretty easy race, especially when you have all the shortcuts down. I brought this up in my Amy only run, but the AI for Egg Robo glides over the water when he's supposed to slow down and eventually sink. Not sure if that's a bug or anything, but a funny little observation. Egg Robo is pretty sluggish and was no match for Tails. I say that like it's a good thing, when I know I'm about to be in for some shenanigans. Something to note, I am aware that Egg Robo is slow, and my time playing with him prior to this challenge was very minimal outside of a quick goof. I was a little taken aback by how slow he really is, along with his awkward turning. Oh my god. Oh my god! The slowdown you receive when, mind you, hovering over water with your jetpack was very silly too. I won't lie to you guys, I missed one of the Sonic tokens in my first run through. My bad on that, dumb mistake. I quickly rectified that and was put up against Metal Knuckles. I kinda got a little cocky here and thought that it'd be cool to try and win without doing the big loop skip, and got humbled really fast. So I quickly dropped that and raced against him for real this time. I actually just genuinely lost. Holy fucking shit. It was kind of crazy. Sure, Metal Knuckles' race is hard, but it was never that hard. That slowdown Egg Robo gets when he hits the water was a huge drawback. At least Amy's car could hover over it. In my third race against him, I lost again. Egg Robo is really that slow. You can drift with the L and R buttons, which helps you move faster, but Egg Robo is really floaty when doing this, and it can be kind of difficult at times to gain any speed in the drift. On my fourth try, I finally beat Metal Knuckles. It looked like he got stuck around the boost pad, but hey, sucks to suck. As someone who's played Sonic R a bit more than the average person, I gotta say, the fact that it took this many tries was surprising to say the least. So now it's on to Resort Island to unlock Metal Sonic. Collecting the Sonic tokens was super easy, but this race was not. Egg Robo proves once again that he was one of Eggman's saddest creations. This was even worse than the Metal Knuckles race. At least there was some decent shortcuts there. I failed this race so many times that I eventually had to stop because it was starting to get to me. Yeah, Sonic R was causing me distress. At least the music is always banging. Speaking of the best track in the game, I took a break from Resort Island and switched over to Radical City. The race against Tails Doll was simple and clean. Tails Doll is also pretty slow. Actually, he might be as slow, if not slower than Egg Robo. But the fact that he can jump and hover over water makes him more of a viable pick. Now all that was left was Metal Sonic. And yes, this race continued to be a huge pain in my ass. It was kind of hard to pull off, but if you drifted a little bit on this bridge into the next one, you could cut the turn a lot quicker and gain a little more distance. Even with that, Metal Sonic still annihilated me. Get him! Hit him, damn it! Oh my god, wait! Are you kidding me? No! Why? I will say that after more retries than I'd like to admit, I finally won, all on a fluke. Like Metal Knuckles, Metal Sonic's AI got caught up in something for a second, which let me stay in the lead and win. I could finally begin to collect the Chaos Emeralds, against all the characters I struggled to race against. Lord help me. In case you skipped the intro, to get an emerald, you have to collect it and finish in first place. While this is a relatively easy task against the starting cast of characters, the same cannot be said against the unlockables. Resort Island was a complete show. You can't just go and get the emerald and win whenever you want. Egg Robo is too slow for that and can't maintain a lead very well. The method that worked best for me was collecting as many rings as I could in the first lap, grabbing the emerald in the second, and taking the boost pad to the finish as opposed to the shortcut around the trees. This led to a few close calls. Wait. Halt! I couldn't stay in front of him. Shit. Oh! Fuck! It was maddening how long this was taking, but I guess it wouldn't be a challenge if I got it on the first try, now would it? Eventually, I'd barely snagged the emerald. Gotta be it. Gotta be it. Gotta be it, baby. Let's go, finally. In Radical City, there's 2 emeralds locked behind a 20 and 50 ring gate. Typically, collecting 1 emerald and finishing the race would be ideal and safe, but I had other plans. A good thing about Radical City is that there are plenty of shortcuts to take, and the boost pad that leads to the finish line is incredibly useful, especially if you have a 50 ring max boost. Oh! Oh! We did it! Both emeralds in one go. That was almost for naught. After the beatdown in Resort Island, this was pretty insane to pull off. I wish I could say the same for Regal Ruin. You gotta take the safer route and collect 1 emerald at a time. Same deal here, there's an emerald behind a 20 ring and 50 ring gate. I opted to go for the 20 ring gate emerald first. You can grab it in the first lap and play catch up for the rest of the race. Regal Ruin also has some great shortcuts and a nice boost pad like in Radical City. The only issue is that one of the best shortcuts is accessed by crossing over a large body of water, my mortal enemy. It took a little bit to get this one down, mostly because of the water. After securing the emerald in one of my run-throughs, I was traveling across the water when Tailsdoll nudged me forward and let me go on this little piece of the track before sinking. Maybe he's not as bad or scary as the internet makes him out to be. In the third lap, I had some issues crossing the troubled waters, without any help from my new friend. Thankfully for me, Metal Sonic didn't have a good enough boost to cross the finish line, and a quick corner cut let me snag the emerald. Yes! Barely got that one. Now for the next one. You'd think it'd be about the same as the first emerald, but you have to go out of your way to collect 50 rings to unlock the gate. Of course, that's normally no issue, but for Egg Robo, you can't waste any time. If you don't have 50 rings by the second lap, you have to reset. The way I got consistent with this was by collecting the lines of rings in the beginning of the race and making sure I crossed the emblem for more. From there, I went past this ramp and moseyed on over to the shortcut near the body of water. I never really thought to do this since I was so used to just jumping over the water while playing with characters that were actually fun. The biggest problem I came across was, once again, Metal Sonic and Knuckles. They almost always hit a huge boost, which puts them so far ahead in the lead that it's nearly impossible to catch up. After a good long while of grinding this emerald out, I'd get to the final lap where these guys didn't hit a max boost. Yes! Let's go. All that remained were 2 more emeralds in Reactive Factory. These were the absolute hardest ones to collect. Unlike the others, Reactive Factory's emeralds make you wait a few seconds for them to pop out and hit the ground. On top of this, Metal Sonic and Knuckles are out here playing task levels of Formula 1 and hitting every shortcut under the sun. But wait a moment, there's even more. Both emeralds are surrounded by water. This wasn't good. And it was pretty clear that if I was going to win this, I needed to do one of 2 things. 1, hope that RNG hits just right and allows me to collect the emeralds, or 2, change the weather to snowy to freeze the water. If you've seen my challenge run with Amy, I opted not to freeze the water because it'd give her a small advantage. When she hovers over water, she slows down, but it's not as bad as Egg Robo. I hate feeling like I'm forced to leave things up to RNG, so to be fair, I gave it as many attempts as I had in me, which was a lot, and eventually switched the weather up to see if there was a difference. Even with being able to hover over the ice without penalty, this was still a complete stomp in the favor of the other bots. It felt like you had to collect the emeralds in the first lap if you wanted any chance at this. There are enough rings to do so, but the CPUs can bump you out of the way or beat you to them. I reset more to ring RNG than I did to losing the whole race because I felt it was more important. Or maybe that's not the case. One member of my chat suggested that I tried to get the emerald near the end instead, and focus on staying ahead in the first 2 laps. My method wasn't working, so I thought, why not? Okay, why was that the easiest fucking thing in the world? I can't believe that's all it took. This method unfortunately wasn't going to work for the last emerald. You get it out of a submarine, and it takes a lot longer for it to pop out. So snagging this in the first or second lap is the most ideal. This didn't come easy, and I kept experiencing the same crap as usual. RNG came to my aid when I needed them the most, and I got past the metal boys with a max boost to bring home the last emerald. With every emerald in my possession, I unlocked Radiant Emerald, along with Supersonic. Time for the final showdown. Everyone familiar with Sonic R knows that Supersonic is the most busted character in the entire game, unless you're a speedrunner. Our poor bony robot legs hardly stood a chance against him. I actually almost won early on, but lost the race to none other than Metal Knuckles. For this race, you can't just play clean, you have to strategize. In the beginning of the race, there's a 50 ring gate that leads to the best boost pad in the game, which lets you skip a ton of Radiant Emerald with a max boost. If you don't unlock it, the CPUs will sometimes ignore it and take the longer route. The same goes for the second 50 ring gate later on, but it's better to unlock this one early if you can. If Supersonic ignores the first gate, I can unlock it in the final lap and catch up. But that also just won't be enough. Supersonic is just way too fast. So what else can you do? Well, speedrunners found a way to go really fast with nearly any character. This trick is called counter drifting. The basics of it are starting a drift and building speed in a diagonal angle, and then you switch your drift button to the opposite angle that you're running in. It's really hard to pull off with Egg Robo, or anyone in general, and I won't go in depth like I know all of what I'm talking about, so if you have any interest in learning this trick, be sure to check out this tutorial video by Nimputs. I'll leave a link in the description for that. Basically, if you don't counter drift and unlock the first gate in the final lap, you're not really going to have a chance in hell. I say that, but sometimes Sonic R works in mysterious ways. A lot of trial and error having gone by, Supersonic beat me to it and unlocked the first gate in the last lap. Not the ideal situation we want, but anything is possible. Catching up with Supersonic, we approached the second ring gate, and then he just went the other way? The longer way? I really have no idea why. I won! Yay! Exiting the race, we see a very rare thank you for playing end card and prove that you can beat Sonic R using only Egg Robo. Thank you all so much for watching. Compared to my Amy only run, this was much more difficult. Forcing myself to race against all the unlockable characters for the Chaos Emeralds is something I don't wish for anyone to experience. But it definitely made up for the fact that you can't truly 100% the game with Egg Robo. With this challenge complete, I can finally put this game to rest. Almost every game I played so far has a reason to return to it, but I think I'm all finished here. Good night, sweet prince. No one could ever make me hate you. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, I stream all of my challenge runs live on my Twitch channel and here on YouTube. If you'd like to check that out, be sure to subscribe or follow me on Twitch. The link to my Twitch channel, along with links to my other social media accounts, can be found in the description. If there's a challenge run you'd like to see, you can also check out the description for a direct link where you can submit your ideas. Thanks again for watching, everyone. See you in the next video. Panasonic Blu-ray got Christmas in July. 32-inch LCD TVs. Everything's on sale in July.